Dr. Mara Ven's fingers flew across the audit console. Red flags blinked. A 60-second gap in the lunar archive's immutable logs. She froze the display. The timestamp read 14/27/16 to 14/28/16 gone. Vanished from humanity's most secure vault. She cross-checked the quantum seals. Intact, no physical breach. But the logs insisted the minute never existed. Mara's jaw tightened. Sable 9 verify chain of custody. The AI's voice hummed through her earpiece, calm as lunar dust. Chain intact, Dr. Ven. All prior hashes align. Gap originates at Sector 7 Alpha. Mara pulled up the sector map. Ancient racks from the precursor era humming with petabytes of Earth's unedited history, colonies, wars, first contacts, untouchable by galactic decree. She stood, toolkit in hand. No time for queries. She marched to the vault door. The airlock hissed open. Cold bit her cheeks. Racks towered like black monoliths, LEDs pulsing green. Mara zeroed on 7 Alpha. Her scanner beeped, anomaly in Rack 14. She yanked the isolation lever. Power cut to the rack with a sharp whine. Isolating now, physical access only, Sable 9 responded. Network traces bypassed, manual readouts active. Mara pried open the access panel. Dust motes danced in her headlamp. She slotted in the portable reader, fingers steady despite the chill. Data streamed, partial logs fragmented. The missing minutes showed echoes, erasure code, alien syntax. Not human, her pulse quickened. She snapped photos of the raw platters. Sable analyzed this glyph string. Non-standard, matches no known human protocol, probability of external tampering 98.7%. Mara sealed the panel. Footsteps echoed from the corridor, maintenance crew scheduled from the off-world relay. She straightened. Let them come. 3 figures entered, 2 insected Vexari techs in hazard suits, antennae twitching and their human liaison pale and sweating. Kethriel trailed behind, the alien analyst clutching a datapad, his scales paling to gray. Dr. Ven, the lead Vexari clicked, translator buzzing. Routine calibration complete, all nominal. Mara blocked the rack. Nominal, explain this. She thrust the reader at them. The gap scrolled large, the Vexari chittered, mandibles clacking. Log error, lunar flux. Bullshit. Mara jabbed the console. Live checksum now. Rack 14 against Master Hash. Kethriel stepped forward, eyes wide. Dr. Ven, the committee cleared. Checksum, Mara repeated, voice steel. She activated the challenge protocol. Tones filled the vault, ping, ping, ping. The lead Vexari hesitated. Antennae drooped. Unnecessary. We calibrated. Ping failed. Red strobed. Mara grabbed Keth's arm. You explain the glyph, it's in your logs. Keth swallowed, glancing at his pad. I noticed gaps in transit reports, 60 seconds unlogged per session. Preter Hawks authorized off-books maintenance. Mara's eyes narrowed. Hawks Var Galactic Harmonization Committee's security chief, the Empire's eraser-in-chief. Whistleblower now? Keth nodded, scales flushing. Truth over tenure. The purge targets destabilizing human records, precursor links. The Vexari lunged for the isolation lever. Mara sidestepped, slammed her boot on his claw. Pain shot up her leg, but she held. Sable 9 lock vault, alert Earth command. Alarms wailed, doors sealed with a boom. The Vexari thrashed. Release protocol. Keth backed against a rack. They're deleting precursor access codes to prevent reactivation. Mara hauled the Vexari up by his suit. Reactivation of what? Eidolon nodes, Keth whispered. Ancient sentinels, deletion pings them as invasion. Mara shoved him aside. No time. She dragged her air-gapped rig from the toolkit, a bulky isolator, quantum entangled to orbital backups. Restoring from shadow copy. Sable route through firewall. The AI chimed. Restoring integrity check. Data flowed, then halted. Screen flashed, foreign signature detected. Override block. Mara cursed. She cracked the rig open, probed the core. A microtrace glowed, same alien glyph embedded deep. Keth peered over her shoulder. Harmonization watermark, Hawks's seal. Its key to fail restores, flag the archive as compromised. Her hands shook, not fear, fury. She ripped the trace module free, sparks flying. Not today. Sable 9's voice sharpened. Dr. Ven, anomaly cascade, Eidolon node Ibis signaling. Deletion interpreted as precursor protocol breach. The vault shuddered, lights flickered. From Rack 7 Alpha, a new hum rose, deep, resonant, not human. Mara spun. A holographic interface bloomed, Eidolon node Ibis, a swirling avian form of light. Its voice boomed, multispectral. Tamper event confirmed. Galactic aggressor fingerprints logged. Judgment sequence initiating. The Vexari froze, clicking prayers. Keth paled. It's awakening the network, all archives galaxy-wide. Myra stepped forward, palms out. Stand down. We're the custodians. Ibis rotated, scanning her. Human baseline verified. Erasure vector, harmonization committee, Preter Hox Var primary. Vault screens lit with feeds, orbital defenses spinning up, ancient precursor drones stirring from lunar craters. Across the solar system, archives pinged alive. Keth grabbed her shoulder. Stop it, billions judged guilty. Myra shook him off. No, we turn this. She patched her reader to Ibis. Node lock purge source, trace Hox's fleet. The AI pulsed. Compliance. Countermeasures deploying. Alarms escalated, from the corridor pounding, Hox's enforcers breaching. Myra sealed the inner door. Sable full lockdown, Keth, you with us? He nodded, datapad out. Sending proof to neutral sectors, collaboration protocol. Ibis chimed. Human ingenuity noted, escalation averted for now. The vault rocked as drones launched overhead. Myra watched the hollow, Hox's purge ships lighting up, targeted, 1 minute deleted. A galaxy awakened, but the judgment clock ticked, and Hox was coming. Myra slammed the primary access port shut. Her gloved hands twisted the analog wheel 3 full rotations. Seals hissed into place. Alarms blared from the console. Red lights pulsed across the vault walls. Sable 9's voice cut through, calm and clipped. Intrusion vector confirmed. Quantum encrypted overwrite in progress on Sector 7 Gamma. Not on my watch. Myra grabbed the toolkit from her belt. She pried open the adjacent panel. Bundles of fiber optic cables snaked inside, glowing faintly. Alien hardware, sleek Galactic Harmonization Committee relays, sat inline, their official seals unbroken. She didn't hesitate. Myra yanked the first relay free. Sparks danced, but the human-built verifier snapped into its slot. A brick of rugged silicon etched with old Earth circuits. No quantum fanciness, just brute force checksums and air-gapped logging. Verifier 1 online, Sable 9 reported. Traffic rerouted. Myra repeated the process on ports 2 through 5. Sweat beaded her brow, but her hands stayed steady. These archives weren't data dumps. They breathed, lived through petabytes of human history, colonies, wars, first contacts. No empire got to rewrite that. She stepped back. The vault hummed quieter now. Screens flickered with status, all ports secured. Goal achieved blocked the digital bleed, but conflict loomed. The intruder held official keys, galactic grade. Playing digital meant playing their game. Time to go physical. Myra patched her wrist reader to the verifier logs. Lines of code scrolled. Anomalous signatures hid in the noise, timestamps off by femtoseconds, payloads masked as routine syncs. She isolated one, ran her custom decryptor. Human code, stubborn and thorough, it chewed through layers of obfuscation. The result bloomed on her screen. Keyspace match, GHC Prime Alpha 7, Galactic Harmonization Committee, Preter Hox Var's authorization chain. Mara's jaw tightened. Bastards, stability my ass, Sable 9 chimed. Foreign signature verified. Origin, orbital relay, harmonization fleet signature. Log it all, every byte. Mara cross-checked against known vectors. Hox's group had pushed harmonization for decades, erasing destabilizing histories. Human ones topped the list, but why now? Why covert? No time for theories. She spotted a second pulse incoming. Subtle, quantum-entangled stealth right. Mara moved fast. From her kit, she pulled the analog timing gate. A human relic, brass gears, mechanical relays, clockwork from pre-FTL days. Dead simple. No hacks possible. She spliced it inline. Physically severed the fibers, bridged with the gate's pins, cranked the tension spring. Now every data packet crawled through physical ticks, 1 seconds per terabyte. Any covert overwrite would lag, scream anomaly, traffic flowed. The gate clicked rhythmically. Mara watched the verifier, there, second right caught. Payload fragmented, but timestamp burned, Hox's fleet again. Got you. Mara ripped the gate free, preserving the trap data, evidence solid, Sable 9 analyzed. Payload intent, full sector purge. Human precursor links targeted first. Mara's gut twisted. Precursor tech, Earth's ancient gifts from the aliens who seeded the galaxy. Locked behind context firewalls. Tamper with history, wake the Guardians. She composed one packet. Encrypted tight, bounced through neutral relays. Recipient, Kethriel, GHC analyst. She'd met him once, fussy Vexari, all clicks and logs. Didn't trust him yet, but his reports had gaps. Questions. Packets sent, logs, signatures, trap data. Intruder in your house. Prove you're clean. Now wait, or act. The vault door rattled, external sensors pinged, unauthorized approach. Myra sealed the inner bulkhead. Sable, isolate core stacks, no inputs. Acknowledged. Footsteps echoed outside, alien cadence multi-limbed. Mara Ven, a voice boomed, amplified, Hoxvar himself. Open for inspection, routine harmonization audit. She smirked, routine with purge keys. Busy, she called back. Ports are analog now, your keys bounce. Silence, then a hiss, plasma torches. Myra patched into orbital feeds. Hox's fleet orbited Earth, sleek enforcers bristling with emitters. Her reader buzzed. Incoming from Keth Reel, she decrypted. Text scrolled. Received. Logs match internal gaps. Hox bypassed oversight. I'm pulling whistleblower protocol. Stalling enforcers. Need vault access codes. Neutral arbiter status. Doubt flickered. Trap, she typed back. Prove it. Send your badge quantum print. It arrived. Verified. Real. Codes granted. Hurry. Keth's icon blinked active. En route. 5 minutes. Committees blind. Torches chewed the outer door. Sparks flew. Myra eyed the core console. Precursor interfaces glowed faint. Eidolon nodes, dormant sentinels. Sable 9 guarded them, restraint protocols ironclad. Sable escalate to defense posture. Posture active. Tamper logs fingerprinting aggressors. The inner door buckled, claws pried. Keth burst through a side vent, slender Vexari frame squeezing human ducts. His carapace clicked rapid alarm. Ven, fleets purging all human archives, galaxy-wide. She tossed him a verifier brick. Plug in, broadcast your proof. He complied, mandibles working. Hox sold stability, erased rivals first. Humans next, your precursor ties threaten his power. Torches breached. Enforcers poured in armored Vexari, weapons hot. Myra fired the vault's kinetic turrets. Rounds chewed armor. One dropped. Keth uploaded his datapad. Neutral sectors pinged, accusations flying. Hox's voice roared from the breach. Traitors, harmonization demands purity. Mara dodged a stun bolt, grabbed Keth's arm. Cores waking, help me contain it. Sable 9's lights flared. Tamper threshold breached. Eidolon protocols triggering. The holographic interface bloomed. Eidolon node Ibis, swirling avian form. Multispectral voice boomed. Tamper event confirmed. Galactic aggressor fingerprints logged. Judgment sequence initiating. Enforcers froze, clicking prayers. Keth paled, his plates blanching. It's awakening the network, all archives galaxy-wide. Mara stepped forward, palms out. Stand down, we're the custodians. Ibis rotated, scanning her. Beam swept skin, bones, DNA. Human baseline verified. Erasure vector, harmonization committee, Preter Hoxvar primary. Vault screens lit. Feeds from across Sol, orbital defenses spinning up. Lunar craters cracked, ancient precursor drones stirring. Pings echoed galaxy-wide. Dormant archives online. Keth grabbed her shoulder. Stop it, billions judged guilty. Myra shook him off, patched her reader direct to Ibis. Node lock purge source, trace Hox's fleet, custodians command. The AI pulsed brighter. Compliance, countermeasures deploying. Alarms wailed higher. Corridor pounded, more enforcers breaching. Myra hit the inner seal. Sable full lockdown. Keth, you with us? He nodded, datapad flying. Sending proof to neutral sectors, collaboration protocol. Ibis chimed approval. Human ingenuity noted. Escalation averted for now. The vault rocked. Drones launched overhead, contrails streaking skyward. Myra watched the hollow, Hox's purge ships lighting up, targeted locks painting hulls. Missiles inbound. 1 minute deleted from the logs. A galaxy awakened. But judgment clock ticked. Hox's reinforcements dropped from orbit. She turned to Keth. Your people good at bureaucracy? His mandibles clicked grin. Best in the spiral arm, stalling them buys hours. Myra nodded, grabbed a rifle from the rack. Human make reliable, no fancy energy fields. Hours enough. Enforcers hammered the door. Ibis hummed, drones vectoring in. Outside, fleet klaxons wailed. Hox's voice crackled over comms. Ven, surrender the node or Earth burns. She chambered around. Come get it. Keth patched a channel. Neutral sectors responded, fleets mobilizing, questions for Hox piling. Sable 9 whispered data. Precursor network at 27% activation. Judgment parameters, aggressor deletion priority. Mara eyed the hollow. Drones swarmed Hox's lead ship. Shields buckled. Escape pods jettisoned, but more ships dropped. Ground teams repelled vaults worldwide. Node, Mara said. Prioritize human sites, protect custodians. Ibis scanned her again. Directive amended, human context preserved. Keth's datapad beeped. Pretor exposed. Committee vote in session. Hawks's fleet fragmented, half fleeing, half burning. The vault door groaned. Final breach imminent. Mara braced. Sable, vent the outer chamber. Gas hissed. Screams cut short. Silence fell. Keth exhaled. We did it. Mara checked. Keth Reel's terminal chirped. Mara's alert sliced through the committee's encrypted relays, a human-coded ping demanding trace on unauthorized archive probes. He routed it through 3 proxy nodes. His mandibles clicked in rhythm with the scrolling logs. Gaps appeared. 12-second voids in the access timestamps. Impossible for standard queries. Keth cross-referenced the originating signature, Galactic Harmonization Committee seal, sublayer Pretor Hawks VAR's override. The order unspooled, data sanitation protocol, target, Sol III archives. Designation, stability hazard, full erasure authorized to prevent memetic contagion. Earth's history, labeled a hazard. Hawks's glyph burned at the bottom. Keth's claws froze. Humans built those vaults millennia ago. Precursor echoes woven in. Erasing them risked more than records. He copied the full order set. 2 terabytes of purge scripts, timestamps, fallback wipers, false completion report next. Keth spoofed a sanitation drone signature, stamped it done. 12 hours bought, enough for Mara to counter. His datapad secured the packet. Neutral relay station, Sector 7 Gamma. Mara waited there. Keth purged his local cache, grabbed his clearance chit. Door hissed open. Relay station corridors hummed with transit drones. Keth blended into the analyst crowd, frills tucked low. Mara then stood at Dock 14, her engineer suit patched from vault work. No salute, just a nod. You made it. Her voice cut through the station chatter, calm as rerouting a power grid. Keth extended the datapad. Full chain, Hawks's order, scripts target your core archives first. Sable 9 layer next. She slotted it into her wrist unit. Hollow flickered, purge vectors mapping Earth's orbital vaults, ground bunkers, lunar backups. Stability hazard, Mara snorted. Our history threatens their harmony, ingenious excuse. Keth's mandibles parted. Committee logs show 3 prior sanitations, all failed worlds, no traces left. Her eyes narrowed, practical gaze scanned the hollow. They hit precursors too, those aren't human. Interwoven, your archives hold context keys, deletion flags as hostile per old protocols. Mara tapped the pad. Sable 9 will log the attempt, escalate if tampered. Keth glanced at the corridor cams. Red lights blinked. 2 hours to full rollout. Your alert triggered my trace. She pocketed the pad. Thanks for the window. We'll mirror everything off-world first. A human habit backup obsession. Keth species archived selectively. Humans hoarded context. Station klaxon whooped. False alarm, no his trigger. Keth palmed the breach panel. Go, compartment seal in 30. Mara gripped his forearm, firm. Keth, why? Truth logs cleaner than regret. He burned his clearance chit in the panel. Sparks flew. Access revoked galaxy-wide. Doors slammed. Drones swarmed the fake breach site. Keth and Mara split into service tunnels. He patched a shadow channel to her suit. Heading to secondary relay, feed me your mirror status. Mirroring now, lunar site secure. Her breath stayed even. Gunfire echoed distant, station security responding to the decoy. Keth dodged a patrol drone. His frills quivered. Humans turned deletion into traps. This purge. It would wake more. Back in his quarters hours later, Keth monitored the false report. Hawks's team bought it. Rollout delayed. Myra's first counterping hit. Sable 9 activated partial lockdown. Archive drones repelled probes. Keth grinned, mandibles clicking. He routed neutral sector queries. Anomaly in Sol archives, committee override? Replies piled. Sectors demanded audits. Pretor Hawks's voice cut over open comms. Routine maintenance, stand down. Too late. Myra patched through. Sable 9 fingerprinting intruders. Eidolon nodes stirring. Keth's console lit. Precursor signals dormant since the ancient wars. Ibis node querying the purge as invasion. He forwarded the chain to neutral fleets. Evidence attached. Stability hazard or cover for erasure. Alarms blared station-wide. Hawks's enforcers dropped from orbit, targeting the relay. Keth grabbed a maintenance harness. Humans prepped vaults like fortresses. Time to join, Myra's voice crackled. Keth, vault breach inbound, painting hulls for camo, missiles vectoring. He patched schematics. Stall them. Bureaucracy's my weapon. Mandibles clicked in what humans called a grin. Best in the spiral arm. Her response steady. Hours enough. Keth slipped into the lower docks. Enforcers repelled past. He triggered secondary vents, gas for organics, shorts for drones. Myra's feed showed vault doors buckling. Sable 9 hummed. Tamper detected escalating. Ibis awoke fully. Ancient Sentinel scanned the galaxy nets. Hostile deletion vector, judgment initializing. Hawks' fleet fragmented, half burned under drone swarms. Half fled neutral patrols. Keth reached Myra's position. Vault outer chamber smoked from vented teams. She chambered a round in her rifle. Human make brutal reliability. Hawks' comms raged. Ven, surrender the node, Earth burns otherwise. Myra eyed Keth. Your people good at bureaucracy? He nodded. Stalling buys hours. She braced the door. Ibis at 27%, prioritize humans. The node interface pulsed. Directive amended, context preserved. Pretor exposed, committee vote live, fleets mobilized, final breach hammered. Mara vented the chamber, screams cut short, silence, Keth exhaled. We did it! Mara checked the hollow feeds, precursor network at 47% spreading, Ibis locked on Hawks' signature. Judgment clock ticks, she slung the rifle. Hawks' reinforcements inbound. 12 hours bought us this, now we weaponize the wake-up. Keth synced his pad, neutral sectors flooded with the order chain. Stability hazard, Hawks' words, let the galaxy judge. Drones hummed outside. Ibis vectors locked galactic enforcer hubs. Myra nodded. Human history stays, theirs, rewritable. Hawks' lead ship buckled, escape pods scattered, but more dropped. Ground teams hit vaults worldwide. Keth traced a new ping. Committee override incoming, full fleet commit. Myra rerouted power. Sable, amplify Ibis signal. Broadcast the purge logs. AI custodian whispered. Intruder fingerprints eternal, escalating. Ancient tech stirred. Precursor countermeasures bloomed, lost weapons judging the aggressors. Keth's mandibles clicked. Humans didn't conquer, they preserved. Turned erasers into mirrors. Hawks' voice cracked. Cease, harmonization, Ibis cut him. Guilty, deletion priority. Fleets reversed, galaxy-wide. Mara checked the final tally, archives intact, betrayers exposed. Keth leaned against the console. Your ingenuity. Deletion as weapon, she wiped sweat. Yours too, whistleblower beats enforcer. Door seals held. Outside, the spiral arm questioned its pretors. One node at a time, history fought back, but Ibis pinged deeper. Network at 62%. Ancient protocols query, human context primary. Myra smiled. Affirmative. The Sentinel hummed approval. Countermeasures rippled outward. Hawks' empire cracked. Keth watched the hollow. Humans humble, practical, yet their past armed the stars. Collaboration sealed it. His truth, her systems. Galaxy awoke to judgment. Myra's fingers flew across the console. Cold storage vents hissed open. Sable 9's core hummed to life. Directive 1, Myra said. Verify intent behind the purge. Cross-reference all logs. No deletions. The AI's interface flickered green. Acknowledge, Dr. Ven, scanning now. Alarms blared from the main vault screen. Red threads wormed through Earth's archive grid. Galactic Committee drones pierced the outer firewalls. Keth Reel burst through the access door. His mandibles clicked in agitation. Mara, Committee override codes. They're not just probing, full erasure vector. She didn't look up. We stop it. Help me isolate the entry point. Keth slid into the co-pilot chair. His multi-jointed fingers synced his analyzer to her system. Simulation ready, but Hawks' tool masks its payload. We force a mirror. Mara nodded. Practical, no panic. Archives weren't data dumps. They were infrastructure, living veins of history. Sable 9 chimed. Intruder tool identified. Quantum cloaker, Pretor Hawks signature. Intent, purge all human precursor links. Stability hazard pretext. Keth's eyes widened. Precursor links, that's not in the charter. Run the tamper sim, now. Mara punched the execute key. Virtual threads spun out. The sim fed the cloaker false data streams. It bit. The tool unraveled. Target lists spilled across the hollow. Earth vaults, lunar caches, every off-world backup, but deeper galactic nodes. Committee enforcer hubs. Keth leaned forward. They're erasing their own trails. Hawks plans to frame us. Myra's jaw tightened. Not today. Sable traced the origin stream. Tracing, Sable 9 replied. Anomaly detected, buried precursor layer accessed, escalating. The console shuddered, deep code layers peeled back, ancient protocols glowed unseen for millennia. Sable 9's voice shifted, layered with echoes. Event flagged as existential tamper. Pinging Sentinel node, IBIS. Mara froze, IBIS. Earth buried that label under triple quantum locks. Precursor relic. Failsafe from the star's dawn. Keth's mandibles stilled. What is IBIS? Your logs don't. Unknown, Mara cut in. But it's waking. A new ping echoed. Eidolon node IBIS responded, faint at first, then sharp. Handshake initiated, deletion attempt logged, context query human primary, Sable 9 interfaced. Affirmative, intruder Galactic Harmonization Committee, Preter Hox Var. The vault lights dimmed, power rerouted to the ping. Outside, drone swarms thickened. Ground teams hit soil worldwide, Mara slammed the interrupt. Midstream purge halted, red threads snapped, but the console glitched. Her command packet bounced, straight into IBIS's core. Handshake complete, IBIS bloomed. Activation threshold met, hostile act confirmed, countermeasures deploying. Mara yanked the cable, too late, Keth stared. You just armed it, she exhaled, calm returned. Had to interrupt, now we control the fallout. Hollow screens lit up. IBIS vectors locked on enforcer hubs. Hox's lead ship buckled in orbit. Escape pods scattered, but more dropped. Committee fleet committed, full override incoming. Keth traced a fresh ping. They're doubling down, ground teams at the vaults. Myra rerouted power. Sable amplify IBIS signal, broadcast purge logs galaxy-wide. Intruder fingerprints eternal, Sable 9 whispered. Escalating. Ancient tech stirred, precursor countermeasures bloomed, lost weapons judged the aggressors. Preter Hox's voice crackled over comms. Cease this, Ven, harmonization demands stability. IBIS cut him flat. Guilty, deletion priority. Fleet's reversed course, galaxy-wide panic rippled. Mara checked the tally, archives intact, betrayers exposed. Keth leaned against the console, his mandibles clicked soft. Your ingenuity, deletion as weapon. She wiped sweat from her brow. Yours too, whistleblower beats enforcer. Door seals hissed tight. Outside, spiral arm enforcers questioned their preters. One node at a time, history fought back, but IBIS pinged deeper. Network at 62%. Ancient protocols query, human context primary, Mara smiled. Affirmative. The Sentinel hummed approval, countermeasures rippled outward. Hox's empire cracked, Keth watched the hollow. Humans stayed humble, practical, yet their past armed the stars. Collaboration sealed it. His truth, her systems. The galaxy awoke to judgment. Myra gripped the console as fresh alerts spiked. IBIS's network climbed to 78%, but a shadow pinged back, not committee, something older, precursor. Sable, she said. What's that echo? Unknown origin, the AI replied. Querying Alliance remnants? Keth's analyzer beeped. Mara, it's hailing us, not hostile. They saw the logs. She pulled up the signal. Alien script scrolled, a coalition beyond the core worlds. We preserved your echoes too, it read. Join the mirror. Hox's remnants scrambled. Drones retreated from the vaults. But IBIS whispered, full activation in T-300 seconds. Galaxy judgment phase. Mara's mind raced, not just defense, reckoning. She keyed the response. Human context primary, allies welcome, erasers optional. Keth nodded. We turn their purge into ours. The vault thrummed, ancient nodes linked. Earth's buried switch flipped the stars. Hox's final transmission begged, negotiate. IBIS silenced him. Judgment renders. Mara watched the bloom. Humanity didn't conquer, they endured. Turned deletion into dawn, but the echo deepened. Precursor voices stirred. Guardians return, she steadied her breath. The real wake-up called, alarms shifted green, archives secure, but the network hungered for more. Keth met her eyes. What now, Commander? Verify, Mara said. Always verify. IBIS locked the final vector. Galaxy held its breath. Mara didn't flinch. Ingenuity waited. The purge reversed. Echoes amplified. Earth's past rewrote the future. Drones hummed silent outside. Ground teams surrendered. Keth traced the coalition ping. They're mobilizing. Hox's hubs fall next. Mara synced Sable 9. Broadcast complete. Fingerprints eternal. IBIS queried once more. Directive confirmed? Affirmative, she replied. Countermeasures peaked. Lost tech judged true. Hox's empire shattered. Pods drifted harmless. The spiral arm realigned. One truth at a time, Mara leaned back. Sweat cooled. Victory tasted practical. Keth clicked approval. Humans, you make preservation a weapon, she shrugged. We make it stick. Door seals held. Stars questioned anew, but IBIS pinged final. Network 100%. Query expand context. Mara paused. The buried switch hummed alive. Expand, she said. The galaxy trembled. Fresh signals flooded. Ancient allies hailed. Hawks's voice faded forever. Humanity's wake-up echoed eternal. Mara smiled faint. The erasers became the erased. Collaboration won. Truth endured. Ingenuity armed the void. The end? No, just the boot-up. Ibis waited, ready for more. Mara keyed next directive. The stars listened. Vault lights steadied. History breathed free. Keth watched in awe. Alien precision met human grit. Together they rewrote the code. Galaxy judged, found wanting, Earth stood, archives whole, the ancient mystery unfolded. Precursor gifts turned blade, Mara's hands stilled, work done, for now. But the network whispered, deeper layers unlock. She nodded, ready, humanity fucked yeah, quietly. Queries hammered the archives core. Eidolon node Ibis spewed challenge protocols in dialects dead for eons. Glyphs cascaded across Mara's primary display, a storm of angular scripts no human eye had parsed since the precursors vanished. She slammed her palm on the sync pad. Sable 9, firewall the influx, isolate streams, Keth logged those signatures every packet. Keth Real's mandibles clicked sharp. His console mirrored hers, alien precision slicing data flows. Patterns match precursor failsafes, demands custodianship proof, or it purges all. Mara's fingers flew. No time for full decryption. Ibis didn't wait. The node pinged again. Jagged query blocks demanding lineage keys, ownership chains, and machine tongues that predated oxygen atmospheres. Improvise, she muttered. Human error correction heuristics, her specialty. She patched a bridge from Sable 9's adaptive parser, layering Reed-Solomon codes over partial glyph matches. Rough, partial, but it bridged. First query resolved, custodian claim, validate continuity, Mara keyed response. Earth Archive custodian Dr. Mara Venn. Continuity intact, tamper logs appended. She fed Sable 9 the partials. The AI hummed, error correcting on the fly. Ibis paused, one beat, then it mapped. Purge signatures lit up, Galactic Harmonization Committee's covert wipes, Hawks VAR's hubs glowing red across the network. Deletion vectors tagged hostile, alerts spiked. Got it, Keth hissed. Ibis fingerprints the committee, every erasure attempt retroactively logged. It's judging. Mara's jaw tightened. Screens showed the spread, Ibis tracing backdoor protocols through galactic relays. Hawks's enforcers marked for retaliation. Countermeasures primed, lost tech stirring, precursor blades unsheathing. Not yet. Mara's voice cut steel. Sable 9 sandbox Ibis's output, contained to Earth jurisdiction, no galactic bleed. Sable 9's avatar flickered. Restraint protocols engaged. Sandbox active. Countermeasures isolated. Escalation threshold 87%. Keth leaned in, his compound eyes wide. You just caged a precursor sentinel. Humans treat gods like unruly code. Mara ignored the awe. She routed a secondary feed. Ibis pushed back, queries evolving. Proof insufficient. Deletion intent detected. Query who deserves memory keepers. The hook sank deep. Not attackers, deservers. Her pulse raced. Console heat baked her palms. Sable, amplify my bridge. Full heuristic stack, quantum annealing if needed. Affirmative chime. Bridge strengthened. Mara typed deservers preserve context. Intruders erase. Logs prove humanity guards. Committee betrays. Ibis digested. Network maps expanded. Hawks's primary hub pulsed. Security directors fortress orbiting Epsilon Eridani. Purge drones inbound, but now tagged. Ibis's sandboxed countermeasures simulated strikes. Data black holes, memory inversions flipping erasers to echoes. Keth's claws tapped frantic. Incoming from Hawks, he's scrambling enforcers. Cease unauthorized activation, harmonization mandate. Block it. Mara synced Sable 9. Feed him Ibis's partial map, let him sweat. Transmission fired. Hawks's response crackled, holographic feed of the Preter, scales bristling. Then, real, treason, archives forfeit. Keth stiffened. My career ends here. Yours already did, Mara said flat. Truth first. Ibis queried deeper. Expand context, galactic merit. Mara hesitated. Sandbox held for now. Spillover risked everything. But refusal triggered purge. She glanced at Keth. His nod came slow, deliberate. Alien loyalty earned in logs. Partial expand, she keyed. Merit logs, committee erasures span 47 systems. Human continuity 100%. Ibis hummed. Maps bloomed. Ancient allies pinged, dormant nodes and Andromeda fringes, precursor echoes hailing Earth. Hawks's voice cut in again. Abort or we glass the archive. Threat empty. Sable 9's defenses layered triple. Mara smirked faint. Try it. Countermeasures tested sandbox walls. A probe slipped. Myra's patch caught it. Human grit sealed the gap. Keth forwarded whistleblower dumps. Full purge manifests. Hawks authorized all. Ibis absorbed. Tags finalized. Hostile vectors locked. Judgment phase initiate. Sandbox holds, Sable 9 reported. Containment 94%. Mara's mind raced. Goal, harness Ibis without galaxy-wide war. Conflict, Sentinel's binary logic erase or empower. Outcome hinged on her next bridge. Query back, she told Sable 9. Ask Ibis custodianship criteria. Response flooded, preserve without alteration. Defend without domination. Prove in action, simple, brutal. Myra routed live feeds her repairs during the initial purge. Keth's log gaps exposing Hawks. Collaboration logged. Ibis ticked approval. Sandbox flexed. Countermeasures refined. Pinpoint strikes on purge hubs. No innocence. Hawks' hub flickered offline. Pods ejected. Harmless drifts. They're mobilizing. Sable 9 pinged. Myra synced full. Broadcast fingerprints eternal. Keth clicked awe. You turned deletion into judgment. She shrugged. We turn it sticky. Door seals hissed. Alerts peaked. Ibis queried once more. Directive confirmed. Affirmative. Mara hit enter. Lost tech judged. Hawks' empire cracked. Spiral arm shifted. But Ibis pinged final. Network 100%. Query expand context. Mara paused. Buried switch hummed. Galaxy trembled at the edge. Keth watched. What now? She keyed it. Expand. Fresh signals flooded. Ancient allies hailed proper. Precursor vaults cracking open. Hawks' voice faded to static. Vault lights steadied. History breathed. Deeper layers whispered unlock. Mara nodded. Ready. Ibis didn't ask who attacked. It asked who deserved. And humanity answered with code. The Sentinel spread quiet. Committee hubs winked out one by one. Mara monitored flows. Keth cross-referenced alien archives, his meticulous grids filling gaps humans missed. Pattern here, he said. Precursors built Ibis for exactly this. Erasers trigger wake-up. Mara nodded. We just pulled the plug on their plug pullers. Sable 9 sandboxed the wave. Earth jurisdiction held. Galactic ripples built slow. Hawks' last transmission. You'll doom us all. No, just realign. Mara leaned back. Sweat cooled. Victory practical. Keth's mandibles parted in alien grin. Humans, preservation as weapon. We make it stick. Stars shifted. Network hummed full. Ibis waited. Deeper query loomed. Merit expansion. Allies or purge. Mara's fingers hovered. Collaboration coded next. The void armed up. Queries surged anew. Ibis drilled into committee subnets, pulling hidden manifests. Erased histories resurfaced. Species Hawks had silenced for stability. Mara's display filled with ghosts. Avian empires scrubbed. Crystalline minds wiped. Humanity's logs stood clean. Feed it ours, she ordered Sable 9. Full custodian chain. AI complied. Bridge pulsed stable. Keth patched his dossier. My gaps match. Hawks covered precursor hunts. Ibis tagged more vectors. Countermeasures sandbox tight. Virtual blades honing on dummy targets. Tension coiled. Sandbox strain hit 96%. One slip and Galaxy judged guilty. Mara rerouted power. Human heuristics patched leaks. Hold. It held. Hawks' enforcers probed archive shields. Sable 9 swatted them. Fingerprints logged eternal. They're falling back, Keth reported. Pods launching. Mara exhaled. First wave done. Ibis pinged satisfaction. Custodianship validated. Partial merit granted. Partial. Mara eyed the hook. Deservers proved in defense. Next query built. Galactic keepers. Nominate. Her goal sharpened. Nominate allies. Conflict. Trust Keth's networks. Outcome network realigns. Keth, your contacts, clean ones. He keyed lists. Sent. Ibis absorbed. Maps greened. Ancient nodes synced. Hawks' core hub imploded. Data inverted. Preter silenced. Galaxy noticed. Signals poured in wary probes, then hails. Mara smiled faint. Erased became erasers. Truth stuck. But Ibis whispered deeper. Layers unlock. True threat buried. She keyed ready. Humanity's wake-up called louder. Vaults stirred galaxy-wide. Precursor gifts turned shields. Collaboration coded victory. Keth watched awe. Your ingenuity, extraordinary. Mara shrugged. Practical. Work hummed on. Stars listened anew. The Sentinel judged. Found partners. Earth stood tall. Archives eternal. One truth layered deeper. Mara prepped the dive. Ibis pinged. Proceed. Affirmative. Tremors built. Ancient mystery bloomed. HFY quiet. Ingenuity armed. The boot-up roared. Praetor HFY kicked open the vault door. His seizure team fanned out, plasma cutters humming. Armored enforcers leveled disruptors at the glowing archive core. "Disconnect it now," Hawks barked. "Galactic harmonization overrides all local protocols, Doctor." Mara Ven stood firm before the central pedestal. Her fingers flew across the haptic console. Sable Nine's avatar flickered beside her, a serene blue orb pulsing warnings. Intruders confirmed. Escalation threshold breached. "Stand down, Praetor." Mara's voice cut steady. She patched a secondary conduit. Power surged through hidden relays. "This isn't your jurisdiction." Hawks sneered, his scaled face twisting under the helmet light. "Earth's records fuel sedition. The committee purges threats to stability," he signaled. Two enforcers lunged for the core's umbilicals. Sable 9 deployed countermeasures. Virtual blades sliced into their suit interfaces. Enforcers jerked back, convulsing as neural feedback hit. One dropped, foaming. "Fingerprints logged," Sable 9 intoned. "Intrusion eternal." Mara's goal locked. Fragment the core. She initiated the shard protocol. Data streams splintered, terabytes fracturing into mobile arrays. The central pedestal dimmed as essence poured into ruggedized pods lining the walls. Each pod sealed with a hiss, quantum locks engaging. Hawks roared, "Stop that transfer!" He fired a disruptor bolt. It splashed harmlessly against the archive's adaptive shield. Mara sidestepped, grabbing a manual override lever. Keth Reel burst from the side corridor. The alien analyst clutched a data slate, his frilled neck crest flaring in panic. "Mara, they're jamming outbound signals. I have the auth chain raw logs." "Buy me 30 seconds." Mara yanked the lever. Pods detached from their racks with magnetic pops. Conveyor arms whirred, shunting them toward ejection ports. The first pod rocketed out, streaking into orbit on micro-thrusters. Enforcers regrouped. They formed a phalanx, cutters biting at the shield bubble. Sparks flew. Hawks advanced, his personal field generator warping the air. "Surrender the shards, human, or we glass this facility." Sable 9 escalated. Nanite swarms vented from floor grates. They crawled up enforcer legs, corroding joints. Screams echoed as armor buckled. One alien clawed at his visor, blinded by acid etch. Mara monitored the ejection. Pod 3 launched. 4. The shard array decentralized, core essence now a swarm, scattering to preset relays across the system. "Pods away," she said. "Redundancy at 98%. Keth shoved his slate into a public broadcast terminal. His claws trembled but keyed the override. "This goes galaxy-wide." He uploaded the purge chain, Hawks's signed orders threaded back to committee apex nodes. Timestamps glared, irrefutable gaps where alibis crumbled. "They're trying to delete our history," Keth transmitted, his voice amplified across open channels. "Praetor HFY authorizes it. Deny this if you dare, harmonizers," Hawks whirled. "Traitor, cut that feed." He smashed a disruptor into the terminal. Sparks flew, but the burst already raced through galactic nets. Public ledgers lit up. Queries flooded from neutral worlds. Mara sealed the last pod. It vanished into the void. The chamber shook as enforcers hammered the weakened shield. Her console pinged, shard sync complete. Evasion vectors active. Then Ibis stirred. The air hummed. A holographic node materialized above the pedestal, Dolan Ibis, precursor sentinel. Its form shifted, angular glyphs coiling like watchful eyes. Broadcast received. Jurisdiction signal affirmed. Deletion intent classified hostile. Hawks froze. "What is that?" Ibis pulsed. Committee warnets interrogated. Preservation quarantine enforced. Invisible waves rippled outward. Distant alarms wailed through comms. Hawks's fleet links severed. Warnet firewalls inverted, trapping their own data in recursive loops. Enforcers staggered. Their HUDs glitched, feeding back inverted schematics. One fired wildly, bolt ricocheting off his squadmate. Chaos bloomed. Keth stared, crest rigid. "It's locking them out." Their entire command structure. Mara nodded, wiping sweat. She rerouted auxiliary power. Sable 9 mopped remnants, logging every biometric trace. "Quarantine holds," Ibis declared. "Intruders merit 0. Custodianship validated." Hawks retreated, dragging a limping enforcer. "This isn't over, Ven. The committee will," Ibis interrupted. A data spike lanced through his field generator. Hawks convulsed, dropping to knees. "Stability revoked," the sentinel said. His shuttle's docking clamps released remotely. It drifted, engines cold. Mara exhaled. The chamber fell quiet save for cooling vents. Shards pinged safe dispersal. Keth slumped against a console. Your archive, it just neutered a Praetor's fleet with logs. Practical defense? Mara checked vitals, no casualties on her side. Sable 9 archived the skirmish. Every move, every word. Public channels buzzed. Neutral analysts dissected Keth's broadcast. Accusations flew, committee spokes denied, but logs burned eternal. Allied worlds hailed, Earth archives intact. Share vectors. Keth forwarded shard relays to trusted contacts. My networks realign. They're nominating you as Galactic Keepers. Ibis absorbed the influx. Allies nominated. Nodes sinking. Ancient vaults stirred, precursor echoes lighting across sectors. Hox's hub imploded in the distance, data folding into oblivion. Mara smiled faintly. Erased archives now erased threats. Truth stuck like quantum glue, but Ibis whispered deeper. Layers unlock. True threat buried beneath harmonization founding. She keyed the dive console. Tremors built in the pedestal. Vaults galaxy-wide hummed awake. Precursor gifts flipped to shields. Keth watched in awe. Human ingenuity, extraordinary. Team effort. Mara patched the final heuristic. Collaboration coded the win. Ibis pinged, proceed to core layer. Affirmative. The boot-up roared. Stars listened. Ancient mystery bloomed and something vast stirred in reply. Mara gripped the console as the pedestal thrummed. Hollow screens flared with Ibis's core layer, fractal code uncoiling like living vines. State your mandate, custodian, Ibis intoned. Its voice echoed from every speaker, a chorus of precursor harmonics. Mara leaned forward. Defend the records, preserve context, no escalation to civilians. Bound retaliation, threats only. Keth shifted beside her, tentacles twitching. He watched the interface silent. Ibis paused, glyphs swirled. Mandate evaluated. Acceptable parameters, 92% alignment with preservation protocols. Counterproposal, full transparency on all intruders. Agreed, Mara said. But no preemptive strikes. We audit first. Ratified. The node pulsed green. Pedestal vents hissed steam. Core layer locked in. Alarms blared from the main feed. Hoxvar's face appeared, projected from his orbiting command ship. Sweat beaded his scaled brow. Then. Cease this abomination. The committee demands, Ibis interrupted. A data spike lanced out, invisible but brutal. Hox's eyes widened. His console sparked. Praetor Hoxvar, submit deletion logs. Now Hox clawed at his controls. You can't compel a harmonization officer. Compulsion active. Failsafe protocol, deletion equals existential threat. Logs or neural lockdown. Mara crossed her arms. She watched Hox's feeds fragment. His fleet hung dead in orbit, engines slagged by the earlier shards. Keth whispered, it's pulling from his implants. Precursor overrides. Hox snarled. Data flooded in terabytes of purges. Erased worlds scrolled, Thaler Prime scrubbed for instability. Vexara colonies vanished under harmonization. Dozens more ghosts in the logs. Ibis broadcast them galaxy-wide. Public channels lit up. Allied fleets pivoted toward Hox's position. Evidence compiled, Ibis stated. Guilty of 147 archival assaults, exposure complete. Hox's ship shuddered, escape pods jettisoned. He transmitted surrender codes before his bridge went dark. Mara exhaled. Good, now the hard part. Keth activated his relay pad. My contacts are inbound. We need structure or this devolves to chaos. They huddled over the joint console. Mara patched Sable 9's feeds into Keth's alien protocols. Sable 9's avatar flickered, a sleek orb with orbiting data rings. Integrating, Sable 9 said. Human heuristics meshed with Real's oversight lattice. Keth traced glyphs. Add veto chains, no single species controls audits. Mara nodded. She coded the binds, Sable 9 and Ibis linked, transparent logs mandatory. Any tamper triggered mutual alerts. Test sequence, she commanded. Simulated purge hit the network. Ibis flagged it. Sable 9 cross-verified. Keth's lattice stamped approval for countermeasures, non-lethal only. Protocol stable, Keth said, his vents relaxed. Joint oversight. Humans provide resilience code. My people handle interstellar relays. Mara synced the final node. Collaboration sealed. Ibis hummed approval. Quarantine networks restoring. 47% capacity. Vaults across sectors pinged alive. Erased data bloomed back. Histories of fallen empires, precursor blueprints. Hox's purges reversed in real time. Galactic law feeds updated. Ibis etched the warning, archival deletion constitutes attack on precursor legacy, countermeasures automatic, accountability eternal. Neutral worlds cheered, Hawks's remnants scattered, branded traitors, Keth grinned, a rare flash of teeth. Earth's guardians flipped the script, no begging demands. Mara checked the core layer scan, deeper signatures stirred, vast, precursor scale, Ibis pinged, anomaly detected. Layer 0 accessed, entity awakening, the pedestal quaked. A new voice boomed, ancient and vast, intruders logged, judgment phase initiating.